This is a narration by Ottilla May Carl, who lives in this beautiful home in Hollister, California, telling us how Wells Fargo Bank N.A. victimized her.
Hi, my name is Ottilla May Carl. I am initially from the East Coast, but after I lost my husband, I decided to move to California to be closer to my son. Having made that decision, we together decided, or made the decision, to work with an architect to draw plans to build a custom home here in Hollister in an area known as Ashford Highlands. I have been very happy in this beautiful home, but now I find myself in a very, very difficult position because Wells Fargo is trying to take this home away from me, and I am the sole owner at present of this home. Furthermore, I never ever sought a loan from Wells Fargo. My son and his wife got a loan for $1 million, which they paid this construction loan off with from Wells Fargo. But in order for them to do this, I had to sign off on a stipulation that Wells Fargo Home Mortgage had made of you have to change your deed to read from 2/3% owner to 50% owner, and your son and his wife as 50% owners of this home in order for him to get this $1 million loan. I did that under pressure because of the fact that my son had already put down a $10,000 payment to Wells Fargo in order to hold the loan and the interest that had been negotiated. Also, they not only did that, I had to sign off on a deed and put my initials on a 24-page document that was recorded here at San Benito County. Now I find myself in a very, very difficult position of having Wells Fargo coming to me and saying that they are going to repossess this property and auction it off at public auction. I have paid out a total of $80,000 between attorney's fees and to bring up the defaulted payments of my son and his wife's loan. This was not a loan that I negotiated or signed on. I do not feel that Wells Fargo has any right to come in and tell me that they are going to repossess my home under these circumstances. I felt pressured. I felt that what was done by Stewart Title Company, having been told to do this by Wells Fargo Mortgage, that this was patently illegal and should never have transpired. Had I had the option of going over all of these documents with my attorney, who unfortunately was having some health problems and could not be present, I would never, ever have signed these documents, nor would I have allowed anyone to change the deed from my ownership of two-thirds of the property to a 50-50%. And then I was told by the title company that they would, the day after this had transpired, and after my son had gotten his mortgage, they would change the deed back to read my ownership as being 2/3 as opposed to my son and his wife owning a 1/3 ownership. Now I find myself in this very, very difficult position of having to try to deal with Wells Fargo Bank N.A. and their trying to take my home away from me and foreclose and auction it off, in which event I would lose my entire investment in this beautiful home. I would walk away with nothing. I did not do anything to cause Wells Fargo to come in and try to auction off my home. And I have now spent $80,000 that I would never have paid to anyone, including Wells Fargo, had this not all transpired. I do not feel that Wells Fargo Bank N.A. has the right to come in and tell me now that they have a lien on my property. I am a sole owner, my son and his wife having quitclaimed their 1/3 ownership, and since inasmuch as I did not sign a loan, I don't owe Wells Fargo any money on a loan. I do not feel that they have a right to come in and foreclose and auction off this beautiful home. Thank you for the opportunity to be here and to give you my side of this story, which has been difficult for me to deal with, and I hope that you now understand the position that I have been put into unknowingly and unexpectedly with Wells Fargo Bank N.A. Thank you very much for listening.